and we want the fans out of their seat. We want to score goals. We want to give them, momentum on our side, and then on the flip side is when we don't have the ball, is it we got to be dogs.
Te he dejado que desgastes todo el aire del pulmón para cantar el gol, pero creo que va a ser en vano, José, porque cuando cabecean está ligera.
Welcome to the Afterburn Soccer Show, everybody. And, of course, we're going to take your comments, your questions live, but I can't help but watch that moment, that little clip we saw in the intro as Sam Sarver sets up Anderson Julio for, at least at the moment, it was an equalizer goal in Los Angeles, and feel some pride, like your boy. Your boy has grown up and is making an impact, and you just burst with pride for the way Sam Sarver made an impact in this match. I mean, Chris, Jose, I hope you all, as much as we've watched Sam Sarver do his thing this season, what a moment. A lot of fun, despite the ultimate end result for FC Dallas. So welcome, everybody, to the show. We're going to get started. Of course, I'm Nathan. You can follow me at Afterburn Soccer on X. Chris is with us here in the middle at C. Wintus on X. And our longtime dear friend, Jose Carmonas at El Chico Carmona.
What's up, everybody?
It's good to have you guys with us. And yeah, this was not a good weekend for FC Dallas. This was not what we expected, what we predicted, what we anticipated. We got video we can look at, and we'll hear from Quill in a minute. We can hear from Sam Sarver after the game. Of course, North Texas not in action tonight, this weekend, because they're getting ready for playoffs on Sunday evening in Northern California. We'll talk about that in a little bit later, but for now, FC Dallas travels out to LA. All they needed to do was win, and they're in. And a red card interrupted those plans. A red card
week
that just leaves us mystified with VAR, which is supposed to help clean up those kinds of things. And even a ref that knowing that a red card is something you can go back and correct. He went right to his back pocket, Jair Marufo, and went right to the red, and it pretty much doomed FC Dallas's chances. I have a clip of we'll share it, but let's just start there. Let's start there. We talk about moments all season long, whether you're talking about Gall with North Texas or Quill with FC Dallas. Soccer sometimes it is about these moments, and when the ref comes into it, the ref has power. The ref should have power in this game. The ref shouldn't have this kind of power. I don't know. I mean, this is where it's tough to talk about. So let's just start with reactions to the 2-1 loss in LA at Carson, California, as LA Galaxy defeats FC Dallas 2-1. Jose, we'll start with you.
That red was brutal. It was harsh. And mind you, they didn't get no yellows or nothing for retaliation either. So it's just it's brutal because of how early it was. Had that been in like the 70th minute or 60th minute, then it wouldn't have been so bad. But 16 minutes in, and to get a harsh red. All I can do is be proud of the team. The team fought. They actually gave us hope there. Made the right changes, gave themselves a shot to walk out of there with a draw, and they just couldn't hold out. They fought valiantly, and honestly, up until that last goal by the Galaxy, I felt pretty good about the team's chances up to that point. In all honesty, so I think it was, despite the red, the team continued to show their good run of form, and it gives me some hope going into this weekend. Not necessarily that they'll walk away with a win, but it gives me hope that they'll walk out with a point. And believe it or not, they may be enough. The scenarios here are so all over the map that even a loss doesn't guarantee them being eliminated. So,
Right.
absolutely, yes, I'm not gloom and doom, and I'm just upset about that really harsh red card. That I mean, I didn't see it. They're saying that he hit him in the nether regions, and I didn't see it. I hope it gets overturned. I hope cross my fingers on that. But that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to echo a lot of what Jose said. I think just immediate reactions are frustrated. It felt like the two goals that the Galaxy score. The first, Osaze kind of misplays the header. Galaxy is able to play it out wide. It gets the ball forward, gets past Osaze, and they score. That's kind of like okay, kind of frustrating. Not anything spectacular. We tie it up. Love Sam Sarver, like you were mentioning earlier. Proud father moment coming. And then the third goal, right? Galaxy get the ball in the box. Osaze's kind of like about to tackle, then kind of pulls off because he thinks maybe I'm too far away, kind of misjudges it a little bit, and he just is able to walk in and score. Like it I think it was encapsulating of the night, right? You had the red card, the two goals, everything was just frustrating when that was kind of a must win in some instances. Obviously, as Jose was mentioning, even a loss, we can walk away with a playoff spot. But this was the game that you were just supposed to win. I think that's what hurts FC Dallas fans the most.
Yeah, knowing what's ahead against Vancouver, who have Thomas Mueller, who did not come to this league in retirement mode, who is playing well as he has throughout his career. Vancouver now top of the West. This is going to be tough. I mean, you needed to get something out of this game. Even a draw would have at least given you a little bit of something, but hey, this is the reality too. And I can go both ways. I can say like, hey, maybe FC Dallas should not even be in the conversation for postseason. So it's just the season we've had. We've had such a strange season. We've had our ups and downs. We've had our poor run of play. Maybe we shouldn't be in this. We had a fan last week on the show was saying like, hey, we shouldn't win. We shouldn't get into the postseason. There's no point to it. Maybe they have a point now. Maybe we're, but this was the game. You just got to win this game against a team that really had nothing to play for, other than being Hispanic Heritage Night there in LA. I was at the game watching, not a huge crowd, a half full at best. This was the game. You've got to make it. And then the ref, made that decision. And I don't understand why the ref, knowing that VAR is now a thing, that you can go for a yellow card. If you think Logan was being too aggressive, go for a yellow card. And then you can upgrade it to a red if it was that bad. But to insert yourself in that way, I just don't know. This is where you think, well, when are these pro games, conspiracy theories, nonsense and stuff. But
one of the tougher losses for us to take, simply because this is one of the few losses where we had our hopes up. I think most of the season, even when the teams had wins,
Good point.
we weren't exactly all excited that we would get a win. This is the actual game where a lot of us felt we could walk in there and win against this kind of team, and then to get hit with a red card 16 minutes in, that was just brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to add just real quick, kind of what you're saying, Jose. Last week, I think I kind of brought it up in a roundabout way, but my point was, if we were to lose this game like we did, were we going to be nervous? Because now we're facing Vancouver, and we've also got, RSL and Colorado both kind of on our tails, kind of the worst case scenario a little bit. So I don't know. Again, there are still plenty of ways we get in, plenty of comfortable options, a draw, RSL, or Colorado loss/draw. So, I mean, I don't know. Just a little nerve-wracking.
That's the weird place to be as an FC Dallas fan right now. Is like, yeah, I mean, if we go out and we play the game of the year, we beat Vancouver in Vancouver, we're in. I mean, and it's not impossible because maybe we have seen Quill get this team to bounce back enough, but it's going to be tough. And then there's still a possibility that, St. Louis does their job against RSL, that we're still in regardless. And so the team has a chance to pick things up. Colin just joined the stream. Do you have a moment, Colin? Do you want to give your reactions to this bitter loss?
It was absolutely horrible. Like, there's just no other way to describe that. Here's the thing, right? We get absolutely shafted by the referee, saying that Logan struck the defender in the groin. It's like, all right, man, he's standing up. Where do you want him to go? The guy's literally scissor kicked him at this point. Has him wrapped up in his legs.
Yep.
Where do you want him to go? Look at this. So this is also after the fact. How Fagundes doesn't get a yellow card there completely blows my mind because both arms fully extended for a shove into the ground. And right here, so he's been a little aggressive. Maybe a yellow card for an arm to the face. Maybe there for the push away. But look at how he wraps up here. He wraps him up. Yeah, I don't know, man. And then whenever he's fully on his back, it's he's got to get up somehow. He gets up, and the guy's he's got his arm wrapped around Logan. I don't see how that's a red card. There's no motion that Logan's making towards the guy's groin area or midsection. He doesn't stand up and stomp on him. I mean, we've seen yellow cards for way worse. That's all I'm going to say. We've seen yellow cards for way worse than this. It's very hilarious also that it's not uncommon to hear you get Marufo'd in MLS. Jair loves to insert himself in any game he has to try and be the star of the show. And something that really shocked me the rest of the game is something they tell PRO, something they tell referees starting out. I mean, I'm a grade 4 referee. I can do college games. If I could get more fit and pass fitness tests, I could probably go PRO. But it's you got it. The one thing they tell us starting off once you start doing these high-profile games is if you're going to make a call or in the game, be consistent. If that referee was being consistent, Fagundes should have been sent off. Cerrillo shouldn't have had a second yellow as well for his he had the professional foul to take that yellow card, I believe, or one of their players did. And that same player, not even 20 minutes later, had the same exact tackle, didn't get carded for the second one. It's you either be consistent, pardon my language, be consistently dog shit in your calls and be consistent, or you're going to sit there and ruin the pace of the game and ruin the game, and that's what Marufo did. He ruined the game at that point. We fought well to get back into it. People say that Sarver getting taken down was a foul. The defender, if you look in the replay, he makes a perfectly timed challenge. He pokes the ball away before he makes contact with the extended arm. I don't think it's a foul or even a card. The goal we gave up in final minutes, in the 84th minute, 83rd minute, very, very unfortunate. It happens. We just got Marufo. There's nothing else to say about it. Now we're in a tough spot where you don't have Musa because of a frustration foul. We don't have Ramiro because of yellow card accumulation. Hopefully Logan's suspension gets rescinded. I doubt it because we're FC Dallas, but whatever. We never get those calls in our favor unless it's egregious or we use one of our challenges, which I think challenges can't be used in the last month of the season. I might be wrong. So it's one of those things where I doubt we get Logan back, so we're going to have to roll out probably, in my opinion, Sarver and Julio up top. Or maybe a Sarver Pedrinho up top. Pedrinho's done well as like a false 9, so it's like maybe we do that. I don't know, but like Chris was saying, we're in a tough spot. I mean, you would assume St. Louis probably won't get the job done, but we gotta pray to God that Austin does, because I think Austin plays San Jose final game of the season. Historically, they always end in draws. I mean, Austin and San Jose usually always a draw,
Yeah.
which would be perfect. But
And
I don't know if
and
Austin's
Colorado
gonna do.
and Colorado's hosting LAFC, who they have been pretty much owned by.
Yeah, and I mean LAFC is gonna be,
Yeah.
because it's decision day. They don't know what's gonna happen with our game. Maybe we pull off a masterclass and win. You never know. LAFC is gonna be trying to get that top spot. So it's just one of those things you never.
Yeah.
I doubt Colorado does anything either. I think it's just going to come down to San Jose and our game. I think RSL is going to make it in regardless with their position. It's really hard for them not to, because they have the win tiebreaker and they have everything else for them unless we draw. And it's just, I don't know. I think, being brutally honest, with momentum, missing players, and how other teams look, if Austin rests players, we're not making playoffs. And Nico loves to rest players for playoffs. He did it for us before we had the game against Minnesota in playoffs. And it dropped us 2 spots to play Minnesota at home. So you never know. And it's just one of those things. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm not confident going into this game in Vancouver.
I just Colin, your voice. It's the tone. It's the legacy. It's just the trauma of being an FC Dallas fan for so many years of like, hey, let's not give ourselves too much hope here, because this is what's going to happen. And there was something about that red card. It was just like, come on.
Yeah.
Just
I sent a picture to the group chat. I called it a thunder cunt. I literally threw my phone across the room, and it destroyed my phone case. The phone's fine, but the phone case was obliterated. I'll have to send that picture to our group chat afterwards. It's pretty funny.
Here's what our buddy Horse God, who has one of the great handles in the history of the internet, feels like we shouldn't get our hopes up and that the season is essentially over. It's basically a playoff game against possibly the best team in the league, and we're down way too many starters, which you're right. I mean, and we don't know. Vancouver may want to rest some guys. I mean, they may want to be looking at this. They may overthink it. But yeah, it's going to be a tough a place to play as there is any in the league. And we're missing Musa. He's not going to get the chance. I mean, that yellow card that he earned, I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, there's so many of those questions that come out of this. But before we go on, let's go ahead and listen to Eric Quill. I was there at the stadium. I was there to cover the game. I was optimistic. Got to eat some free tacos there. They serve the media folks who were there in the space. But so I went down and was able to ask 3 questions to Eric Quill. And we're just going to, it's only 1 minute and 20 seconds long. And it speaks for itself of how Eric Quill was feeling, how the team was feeling after the match. Here is the post-game video.
Proud of our guys. Proud of our guys. They didn't deserve what happened. And that's what I'll say. They didn't deserve what happened. And everybody that's watching that game knows it.
What did the refs communicate with you about the red card?
Nothing.
Decision?
Nothing. Yes.
What was your message to the team tonight to sort of pick up the pieces and look ahead with a big match coming up on Saturday, decision day, and a chance still for playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I told them I was proud of them. They deserved more from the game. They're warriors. They fight like warriors. They give everything of themselves. They didn't deserve what they got. So we have to, we have to pick ourselves up, wipe ourselves off, understand the next week's a new game, and we're still alive in this thing. So it's just really unfortunate that these things happen, and when they're not deserved.
Oh boy. Yeah, not I had this whole thing planned that like they were going to lock in that playoff spot, and I was going to basically say, "Hey, Coach Quill, the media had been wrong about you. We had doubted you. I was gonna throw myself on the sword and say, and fans have doubted you whether you were the right fit. And tonight you turn this thing around. Throw it out the window, because now it's just like, well, what do you do? And of course, even the players who had, was kind of waiting outside the locker room. They had family members coming in, friends. They were feeling the pressure of not much celebration tonight. Very little reason to celebrate on this night when things go so wrong. But at the same time, Quill rightly recognizing that despite the red card, really, Dallas did what they've done all season long, which is compete, fight, find a way to keep themselves in this match. The big question is for next week. I close with that question with Quill. Moose is out. Romero's out. If Farrington's red card is rescinded, which I hope it is, and it deserves to be rescinded. If not, we're talking about Anderson Julio up top, maybe Sam Sarver with him. We'll talk about those dominoes to fall in a minute. But if Farrington's ready to go, Farrington, Anderson Julio, that's not a bad pairing to create some chaos. You miss Romero, but maybe you push Shaq Moore out to the right wing back spot, and then bring all your center backs in. There are a lot of question marks still, but you at least, if Farrington's red card gets rescinded, you at least have an opportunity to maybe push this game in Vancouver a bit. But without him, it raises a lot of doubt.
I think it doesn't matter. I think you're going to push the game anyway, because you're going to have to start. Let's assume that MLS will MLS, and we're not getting Farrington back. So you're going to start Julio. You're going to start Sarver. You have to go for it. You have to basically go balls to the wall, attack. Try not to get caught on the counter, and try to get a goal on the road, and then ease off and hold on for dear life, because your offensive options off the bench are going to be not very good. So you got better defensive options available. Honestly, this is you're going to have to go for it. They're going to have to come out there, attack, hope that Vancouver is not taking FC Dallas serious, because that's complacency is a real thing. So you got to hope the soccer gods are on your side, and you get a Vancouver squad that thinks they're just going to show up and win, and is frankly uninterested in the match. And you're going to have to basically come down and run out, go, like I said, go at them, try to get a goal, and then try to hold on for the winner of the draw. They got to go for it. This is it. You can't save it for next week or save it for midweek or any of that nonsense. It's, hey, tell your players, go out there, play until you can't play no more, and don't worry about your condition. I trust your conditioning, and if I think you're lagging, someone will come in and relieve you when that time comes. But don't save it for later. You got to play for it now, and that's all you can do.
So, Chris, this is the question. This is the biggest question of this weekend. And I need your wisdom here. Jose, you can jump on this too after Chris goes. But, all right, Sam Sarver comes in off the bench. And I have video from him after the match. If we want to listen to that, we can do that. I love this kid. He's 23 years old. He's not a kid. He's a man. Right. Right. Comes in. He gets the spark that's needed. They get a tying goal, right? But here's the problem. North Texas plays Sunday evening for their first opening round, playoff match. Without Sam Sarver, North Texas, some good players still. It's a lot of talent on that team, but Sarver's a difference maker. But at this point, if Farrington can't go, if his red card's not rescinded, Musa's not going, obviously. You need Sarver for Vancouver, right? So Chris, at this point, you're in that role. Would you rather have Sarver play for North Texas and, push that team to their eventual, or do you How do you make that call?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think with the way FC Dallas might need to play against Vancouver, they don't typically control possession. Maybe you just kind of sit super far back, park the bus, just plan on playing a super defensive game, and then just hoping for maybe a counterattack. Sam Sarver is incredible. Obviously, he's so fast. I mean, that's what he's done in North Texas all season. You know, FC Dallas probably needs him more than North Texas at this point, just because it's the first team. Um, but I think the question then goes, okay, who do you kind of fill in there? I could see Padrino getting some run time with North Texas. He played that match against the Liga MX side, so I could see him going down for the game just to give him a little bit of a boost. But I mean, it's and Gall has said this all year. It's the first team for a reason, right? Like North Texas, all they've ever done is, they are building for FC Dallas. So Sarver's clearly, assuming Farrington doesn't, come back, Sarver's going to be with the first team. Probably the smarter move too. As unfortunate it is, for an North Texas SC fan, but I think there's still options there for them too, though.
Yeah, I mean that's what Horse God is.
I mean,
is
it's not even.
Hold on, don't say nobody cares about North Texas.
Yeah,
it's not even close. I mean,
if
your upper management is prioritizing your reserve squad over your senior squad, then there's something wrong with that upper management.
Priorities.
Your priority is the senior team.
Good
this
point.
is not
Good
even a
point.
question. This is not even a question. You go in there, you got one game to play. Go out there, get that result, find a way to make it happen, and then worry about North Texas afterwards. Because let's face it, North Texas, they are in kind of a reloading year right now, and that game against the Town can go either way. The Town is just as inconsistent as North Texas, in all honesty. So it's a winnable game even without Sarver. I think those teams are matched pretty evenly. It's really going to come down to one big play at the end of the game to determine who wins that match. So yeah, don't worry about North Texas. It'll take care of itself. You have to go all in and get that. Like I said, I think you need at least a point in Vancouver to give yourself a shot. If you can't get the win, get a point.
Good stuff. I mean, I think this is the problem. Is like sometimes I think coaches overthink things. All of us can, and we think, hey, Sarver started this journey with North Texas. Hey, finish it. Help them finish it. If they can get deep into the playoffs, get a shot to another championship, would be a great thing. But like, if Farrington can't go, Sarver is absolutely vital for FC Dallas. I mean, there's just not. I mean, especially with Tariq Scott loaned out, you don't have many options. Now, the wild card, that we haven't talked about in this is Dietzen, right? Who you've seen less than 10 minutes of, but scored for Haiti. Credit to him on this international break. And like, could he be a surprise inform kind of start here that be a wild card that does something that Vancouver, it brings that Haitian soccer pedigree to Canada? I don't know. There are a few wild cards like that FC Dallas has left to play, but I think at this point, Sam Sarver, especially when he served up that assist, the kid knows what he does well. It was fun to see him out there. It was fun to see him make an impact in such a short amount of time. In fact, let's pause. Let's hear the full post game. I got to ask him a couple of questions. Here's what he had to say. Turn the tide.
I mean, obviously the red card changes a lot, and I know at halftime he was talking about bringing me and Julio on so we could spring attacks forward, because I thought in the first half after we got the red card, it was kind of just Moose up there, and there was really no outlet wingers for like getting behind speed, and I think that was kind of what influenced that decision to like at least, even though we're a man down, we can still be dangerous on the counter if you hit balls into certain areas with speed. So I mean, I thought we reacted really, really well. I mean, scored a goal in the first 10 minutes, not even in the second half. So, but obviously it hurts to give up a goal that late for, the effort we put in and how long we defended a man down for. and the clock feels like it moves in slow motion when you're a man down. So.
I mean, you've had a whirlwind week. You scored 3 goals on Sunday for North Texas. You get your first MLS assist tonight. Just what does this week mean for you and your growth as a professional soccer player?
Obviously, it means a lot. It gives me a lot of confidence, and Dallas is the perfect club and perfect example of rewarding guys that come through the pipeline of the academy or through the second team or both or just second team and moving up. And, obviously it feels great. And I thought it was super cool that I also assisted the other guy that got subbed on, Julio. So, but no, it gives me a lot of confidence, and it as it would any sport and any athlete. So,
what's what's your confidence that this team is going to kind of bounce back from this and go into this weekend with a lot of confidence to get a result and get that playoff spot?
Oh, I mean, I have the utmost confidence. I mean, this was our first loss in, I think, 8 games or something like that, if I'm correct. And I think our second loss in, like, 12 or 13. So, I mean, and if you look at how we responded to certain, defeats early in the season, like, we're on the pinnacle of our season right now. Like, we're just getting in form. And obviously, teams are bound to lose. That's part of football. Like, no team is really going to win every single game. And it's important to respond well, and obviously we have a great test away in Vancouver, but, I mean, we have the players, we have the talent to get it done. So, I mean, look what we did out there, 75 minutes a man down. Imagine we have that man. So I have the most confidence.
Gotta love this guy. I mean, like, the crazy thing is, too, off the record, was like, I think there's a consensus that, like, Sam Sarver is not – no one is expecting Sam Sarver to be, like, a world beater. Like, he's not ever going to be, a 5-star European kind of level talent. But the kid has a drive. He has the guy – I keep saying kid. He's 23 years old. The young player, but, he is driven. He wants to make a difference. He wants to go out there and get things done. He wants to contribute. He wants to be a leader. There's so many intangibles about this guy that you can't quantify just on the stat sheet. And his confidence, his belief in this team, the way he throws it back to FC Dallas, gratitude for FC Dallas giving him an opportunity. There's so much to like about this guy. And I think that's, if anything else, that's a good sign. If that's the kind of players that Quill wants in on the roster of an FC Dallas squad, these guys who have confidence, who are driven, who are ambitious, who want to make a difference. So credit to him. I'll appreciate the confidence about this coming weekend. And with that, I think we have to expect to see him with the senior team, even if it's off the bench again. I thought, well, you send him North Texas, you try to help North Texas deepen their run, but that kind of is throwing in the towel for FC Dallas, and I don't think they're ready to do that yet. I think they need to keep pushing for one more result, especially when things are in their hands, so to speak. But Musa Ramira being out, that's the other big storyline. I mean, Jose, Musa, we were hoping the 19th goal would come on Saturday night.
Yeah, we were.
And he gets that yellow, and it was a frustration yellow. He had just been bodied before. Was disappointed maybe that the call didn't come his way by the ref. So he goes and he just body checks the guy, gets a yellow. He's out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it.
It hurts. It hurts, but there's maybe him not breaking the record keeps him here whole all of the next season. Then it'll be worth it.
Okay.
He's welcome to break it next year.
I like that optimism. Colin, any thoughts on Musa's yellow?
Yeah.
All right. Colin is lagging a bit. It's all right, Colin. All right, good. Well, let's jump over to North Texas Soccer Club. Chris, Jose, I've been waiting all show to hear your thoughts. I thought St. Louis City would have picked North Texas right away, just to say we're gonna trounce you for the third time in a row. We're gonna take care of business. Maybe they hesitated a little bit with the way Sarver dominated. The team looked better in the second half of their game against Los Angeles FC2. But thoughts on the Town picking North Texas for their opening round opponent? Chris, we'll start with you.
Yeah, no. I was going back and forth because I definitely thought there was a chance St. Louis, with as well as they've done against North Texas this year, I think they're 3-0. Like, it felt like it was almost inevitable, like just make it a fourth. But then I also thought, okay, well, beating a team 4 times in one season is also pretty hard to do. So I was like, okay, well, maybe they're going to stray away from that, go to Ventura County, who LA, Galaxy just have so many players missing on the first team. Like, you just hope that the talent pool is just not going to be enough. And it's at some point you just have to make the smart decision. Just go with the team that you think you have the better chance against. But as far as the matchup for the Town goes, me and Jose were kind of mentioning it back and forth. I think he correctly said it. It's the best matchup for them. I think this is the most balanced team as far as like we have the best shot against. Even if there is no Sam Sarver, I think there is plenty of talent on North Texas. Obviously we'll see who ends up playing, but this was probably the best outcome in my opinion. I think Colorado, it would have been a bad option. I think they've had our number all season. The Town was a luck of the draw for us.
All right. Jose, thoughts?
Yeah, I think the Town's about the only team that doesn't have our number of the teams that could have picked North Texas, and they're just as helter skelter as North Texas is too. So you couldn't have picked a better matchup. It doesn't guarantee a win, but it gives you a shot. I thought St. Louis would just say, "Hey, who's the most dangerous team out there? The one team we don't want getting hot. We need to eliminate those guys." And for whatever reason, they opted not to go after North Texas. Maybe they think, looking at last year, where North Texas got heavily reinforced by the senior squad, and maybe St. Louis is thinking they're going to do it again, so we won't necessarily be facing the squad that we faced all year. So it could have been that. It could have been that St. Louis thought twice and said, "Hey, they're just gonna bring down all their heavy hitters, and they will not be as inconsistent as they've been all year." So it could have been that, and whatever the reason, I'll take it. I got my hopes up for one of the 2 games going on, and that's good enough for me. I think it will go. I think it'll be a close game. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it's like something like 1-1 or 2-2 going down to the last 10 minutes. It'll come down to which team makes the right adjustments and wants it more. I think it's going to be close. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to a penalty kicks to decide who moves on.
I hear that too. Yeah, so that's Sunday evening up here in the Northern California. So North Texas will have to travel, have to battle Town FC, and it should be a fun one. But at least that gives us that flavor of playoffs, regardless of what happens on Saturday, as FC Dallas prepares to travel up to Vancouver, to Canada, to take on a tough team as any. So let's close out the show. Our buddy here, Horse God, here says Musa was so cautious the entire game that retaliated over something dumb. Wondered if he just was frustrated, and I think that was but I think this was the Galaxy's plan. They weren't playing for anything other than pride. So let's just go to frustrate those guys. Create an opportunity for chaos, and they were able to do that. And it was disappointing for Musa not to know that, something was at stake there, for him to miss the next game. I mean, and maybe he thought he wouldn't get a yellow for that body check, but that's life sometimes in this league.
Sometimes emotions just get the best of you. Simple as that.
We're human beings,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Well, let's do some predictions to close out the show. Appreciate everyone being on. Appreciate everyone watching on all the comments. Let's start with North Texas. North Texas takes on the Town FC a Sunday evening, first round of the MLS Next Pro playoffs. I'm going to get things going. I think it's a 1-2 loss. I think North Texas bow out in this first round without Sam Sarver. Although I think Jaden Contreras gets a goal, which keeps us alive for a time. Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 2-2 draw, and then I think once we get to the shootout, I think we end up winning. Kind of like what Jose was saying. I think this game's gonna be so close. I hate to steal his thunder a bit, but these two teams are just so evenly matched. You're assuming Sam Sarver's not going to play, but I do think depending on who plays, I have to feel like they're going to drop somebody down, whether that's Padrinha, whether that's somebody. I think they're just going to have some level of reinforcements, and I'm hoping 2-2 shootout win.
All right, nice. Jose?
He did steal my thunder. 2-2 is what I had, and it's gonna be our old body Salih that takes up the mantle and reminds everybody that he's a pretty good player at that level. And I think he's the guy that's going to come in and make the difference. And I think it's 2-2, win the PKs and move on. I think this team has a good shot. I think we get this team's very inconsistent. You don't know which North Texas you're going to get, but I think you're going to get the good North Texas. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I think both teams will fight, and North Texas may well win this game, but we'll be feeling lucky that we got out when it's all said and done. So I think it's going to be a pretty hairy game to watch.
All right, let's do FC Dallas. Couve, if you have a second, let us know when you have a second to do your prediction. And here's what I want to know. Against Vancouver, what's the prediction, and do we make the playoffs?
So my mic's probably going to be cutting in and out because it's doing a little funky thing.
No,
so
it's good.
Good. We're good. Okay, cool. So I think it all depends on the Logan Farrington suspension. I'll be honest. Like if it gets rescinded, I think we have a real shot to get a point. Because otherwise, if we don't have Logan Farrington, it's just going to be bunker and pace over the top. So it's one of those things we need. Because here's what I think. I agree with Luke there. The first team comes first. I mean, I love NTSC. I love that we have the kids and everything. But part of the reason we have that club is to make the first team better and develop players. Whether it's to sell them on and make money for the first team, or whether it's to promote them up to the first team, like we have with a couple of players. It's one of those things where I love NTSC, but the first team comes first for me personally. And that's how I think every other team should run. That's just coach mentality. But Vancouver, again, I think it depends on if we have Farrington or not. If we have Farrington, I think maybe we can get some hold-up play from him to feed Julio or whoever his strike partner is, probably most likely Julio, and maybe we get a lucky goal and can hold on. But with how offensive that team is and how good it is with Muller in the middle pulling the strings, they have Brian Gold back from injury too. So they have Muller and Gold. Brian White, I believe, still out with injury, so they might just run Muller at striker with Gold at Cam if he's ready to go, or they might rest him for playoffs. Just one of those things. I'm not optimistic with Farrington. I'm saying 1-1 draw. Without him, probably 2 or 3-0 loss. I'm not confident at all. And people might be like, well, why are we considering 2 or 3 without Farrington? Farrington comes deep into the play, and he's able to hold that ball up to feed and take some pressure off the defenders and off the midfielders. It's one of those things where, tactically and statistically, with Farrington in the game, even without Musa, we won games without Musa that we had Farrington in. So it's one of those things. Farrington's very much an underlier when it comes to our wins this season. So it's one of those things. If he's there, I think we get it done. If not, I don't think we get it done. And honestly, if we lose this game, I don't see us in the playoffs either. Just going to keep it honest.
Jose?
My prediction is going to be 1-1. I think, as I said, I think as Dallas runs out, throws the kitchen sink at Vancouver, gets a goal, then tries to hold on. And Vancouver just has too much talent to be denied, and they get a late goal to get the draw, and then we'll sit there and cross our fingers and hope that that's enough to get us through.
All right, Chris.
I was leaning 1-1 draw, not because everyone else said it, but I'm gonna say 3-1 loss. Unfortunately, I think Vancouver's just too good. I think they're playing for that playoff spot. I think we're just going to be missing too many pieces, as Kuv said earlier. But I do think we sneak in. I think San Jose, we get the result as far as a loss or draw, leaning draw. And then I think Colorado loses as well. And I think we find our way into the playoffs.
Nice. Vancouver is scary good. Look, I'm gonna go crazy here. I've been back and forth on all this. I think it's gonna be a 5-0 victory for FC Dallas.
Love it.
Hat trick.
I want some of what you're having, Nathan.
Sebastian Ibiaga, like the greatest performance of his life, because he's going to retire at the beginning of the year. I think he's going to lay it all out there, and it's going to secure a spot, and we're going to continue on. With that said, I've had an Oktoberfest Trader Joe's beer, so that's probably a mistake. So therefore, discredit my opinion, but. Because I just hope this season continues and hope we get to see this team with Musa. I want to see Musa break that single season scoring record. So that's my hope. It's going to be my hope is every week has been that this team plays the best game of their season. And I hope we get that even without Musa. So we will see how that goes. Here's our buddy Luke. If we can keep it tied late, Vancouver might settle. We might have the best defensive game ever to have a chance, which is possible because Quill has definitely gotten better performances defensively from this squad as of late from these pieces. So, well, good. We'll leave it there. Chris, Jose, Colin, thanks for joining us. Luke, thanks for joining us. We'll leave it there. We got a lot to look forward to this weekend. It's decision day. This is what it all comes down to. First weekend of MLS Next Pro playoffs and whether FC Dallas is in or out. Of course, Afterburn.soccer. Of course, follow us all on social media, on X, wherever you get your stuff, follow your podcasts, and we will keep you up to date with what's going on. Hopefully, this season continues for FC Dallas. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Get that W.
By the way,
Stop.
it goes dark for a minute.